Welcome to the warmth of cinnamon and daydreams, a soothing sleep story created to gently guide you into a state of deep relaxation and peaceful slumber. If you find this story helpful, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more content like this. We'll begin with a short breathing guidance to help you unwind and prepare for the story. If you'd prefer to skip ahead, you can find the chapter timestamps in the description below. Find a comfortable position, whether you're lying in bed or nestled in a cozy chair. Allow your body to settle, feeling the support beneath you. Let go of any tension you might be holding in your shoulders, your jaw, or your hands. Imagine you're surrounded by the comforting aroma of a warm bakery filled with the sweet scent of cinnamon and freshly baked bread. Now, let's begin with a few gentle breaths. Inhale slowly and deeply, imagining the warm, comforting scent of cinnamon filling your lungs. Hold it for a moment, and then exhale slowly, releasing any stress or worries with your breath. Feel the warmth spreading through your chest like the gentle heat from a baker's oven. With each exhale, feel your muscles softening, your body becoming heavier and more relaxed. Continue to breathe deeply and easily. Imagine Evelyn, our baker, kneading dough with slow, rhythmic movements. Feel the weight of the dough in her hands, the gentle pressure and release. Visualize the golden sunlight streaming through the bakery window, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. Let the quiet hum of the oven and the gentle sounds of the village lull you into a deeper state of calm. There's nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be except right here in this moment of peaceful tranquility. Now let's begin our story, The Warmth of Cinnamon and Daydreams. Chapter 1. The First Bloom of Cinnamon Scent. The first hint of dawn, a soft pearly gray, was just beginning to touch the edges of the sky when Evelyn awoke. She didn't need an alarm. Years of rising before the sun had woven a natural rhythm into her very being. A gentle smile touched her lips as she stretched, feeling the familiar comforting ache of well-used muscles. It was a good ache, the kind that spoke of purpose and a day well spent. She rose and padded quietly to the window, drawing back the curtains to reveal the sleepy village square, still hushed and waiting for the day to begin. The air in her small cottage was already tinged with the faint, lingering scent of cinnamon, a constant companion from the day before. It was a scent that clung to everything: her clothes, her hair, even the old wooden floorboards. To Evelyn, it was the smell of home, of comfort, of a life lived simply and beautifully. She took a deep breath, savoring the familiar aroma, and felt a sense of quiet gratitude settle over her. Downstairs, the bakery awaited. Willow Creek Bakery, a name painted in faded gold letters above the door, had been her grandmother's, and now it was hers. It was more than just a business. It was a legacy, a connection to the past, and a source of deep, abiding joy. The kitchen, with its worn wooden counters and the old brick oven, was her sanctuary. Evelyn moved with practiced ease, her movements fluid and economical. She lit the oven, the soft whoosh of the gas igniting a familiar comfort. The warmth began to spread, chasing away the lingering chill of the night. She measured flour, sugar, and yeast, the familiar weights and textures grounding her in the present moment. And then, the star of the show, the cinnamon. She opened the large earthenware jar, and the rich, warm scent bloomed, filling the kitchen with its inviting fragrance. As she kneaded the dough, her hands working in a steady, rhythmic motion, she thought about the day ahead. The villagers would soon be stirring, their morning routines unfolding just as hers was. She imagined Mrs. Gable, the retired school teacher, taking her morning walk with her fluffy white dog. She pictured Mr. Henderson, the postman, preparing his bicycle for his daily rounds. And she thought of Thomas, the newcomer, who had arrived just a few weeks ago. He seemed a quiet, thoughtful man, and Evelyn found herself curious about his story. The dough, initially rough and resistant, gradually became smooth and elastic under her hands. It was a transformation, a small miracle that happened every day. Evelyn felt a deep connection to this process, to the simple act of transforming basic ingredients into something nourishing and delicious. It was more than just baking. It was an act of creation, an offering of warmth and comfort to her community. The first rays of sunlight began to stream through the large bakery window, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. Evelyn paused, her hands still resting on the dough, and watched as the light caught the leaves of the old oak tree outside. It was a magnificent tree, its branches reaching towards the sky like welcoming arms. She had spent countless hours gazing at that tree, finding solace in its steadfast presence. A small chirp drew her attention to the windowsill. There, perched on the edge, was a tiny sparrow, its head cocked to one side as it looked at her with bright, curious eyes. It was the same sparrow that visited her every morning, a small, feathered friend who seemed to share her appreciation for the quiet beauty of the dawn. Evelyn smiled and offered a silent greeting, feeling a surge of gentle joy. As the dough rested, Evelyn prepared the filling, the scent of cinnamon now mingling with the sweet aroma of melting butter and brown sugar. The kitchen was a symphony of gentle sounds. The hum of the oven, the ticking of the old clock on the wall, the occasional chirp of the sparrow outside. It was a peaceful, harmonious world, a world of Evelyn's own making. She rolled out the dough, spread the filling, and carefully shaped the cinnamon buns, each one a small work of art. As she placed them on the baking trays, she felt a sense of anticipation, a quiet excitement for the moment when she would share these warm, fragrant treats with her customers. It was a simple pleasure, but it was one that filled her heart with contentment. The oven was radiating comforting warmth, and she slid the trays inside, closing the door with a gentle click. The warmth spread not just through the kitchen but through Evelyn. a gentle reminder of the simple, beautiful rhythm of her life. The aroma intensified, promising a delicious start to the day, a day filled with the warmth of cinnamon and the quiet joy of shared moments. Chapter 2. The Sweetness of Shared Moments. The bell above the bakery door jingled merrily, announcing the first customer of the day. Evelyn, wiping her hands on her flour-dusted apron, looked up with a welcoming smile. It was Mrs. Gable, her fluffy white dog, aptly named Cloud, trotting faithfully by her side. "Good morning, Evelyn," Mrs. Gable greeted, her voice as warm and comforting as a freshly baked loaf. "The smell of cinnamon drew me in from across the square. It's simply irresistible." "Good morning, Mrs. Gable," Evelyn replied, her own voice soft and melodic. "Cloud looks particularly fluffy today. Did he get a special grooming?" Mrs. Gable chuckled, a light, airy sound. "He did indeed. He enjoys his pampering just like the rest of us." She paused, inhaling deeply. "Those cinnamon buns must be nearly ready. They smell divine." "Just out of the oven," Evelyn confirmed, carefully retrieving a tray of golden brown buns, their swirls glistening with a sugary glaze. The aroma intensified, filling the small bakery with an almost palpable warmth. The bell jingled again, and Mr. Henderson, the postman, entered, his face already flushed from his early morning rounds. "Morning, Evelyn, Mrs. Gable. Smells like heaven in here, as always." "Good morning, Mr. Henderson," Evelyn and Mrs. Gable chorused. "The usual Evelyn?" Mr. Henderson asked, his eyes already fixed on the cinnamon buns. "Coming right up," Evelyn replied, placing a warm bun on a small checkered napkin. The morning unfolded in this gentle rhythm, the bell above the door announcing a steady stream of customers, each greeted with a warm smile and the comforting aroma of cinnamon. Evelyn knew most of them by name, their stories interwoven with the fabric of the village. She listened patiently to their news, their worries, their small triumphs, offering a kind word and a warm pastry in return. The bakery was more than just a place to buy bread and pastries. It was a gathering place, a hub of community, a space where connections were forged and friendships blossomed. The quiet murmur of conversations filled the air, mingling with the clinking of teacups and the soft hum of the oven. Sunlight streamed through the large windows, illuminating the scene with a warm golden glow. Evelyn noticed Thomas, the newcomer, standing hesitantly near the door, his eyes taking in the scene with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. She approached him with a gentle smile. "Good morning," she said. "Welcome to Willow Creek Bakery. Is there anything I can help you with?" He seemed startled by her approach, a faint blush rising on his cheeks. "Good morning," he replied, his voice a little hesitant. I just moved here, and I've been admiring your bakery from afar. It smells wonderful." "Thank you," Evelyn said, her smile widening. "The cinnamon buns are our specialty. Would you like to try one?" He hesitated for a moment, then nodded. "Yes, please. That would be lovely." Evelyn carefully selected a bun, its swirls perfectly formed and glistening with glaze. She placed it on a small plate and offered it to him. "Here you go. I hope you enjoy it." He took a bite, his eyes widening slightly. "This is incredible," he said, a genuine note of surprise in his voice. "It's the best cinnamon bun I've ever tasted." Evelyn's heart swelled with a quiet sense of pride and satisfaction. It wasn't just about the praise. It was about sharing a moment of simple pleasure, a connection forged through the shared enjoyment of something delicious. "I'm Evelyn, by the way," she said, extending her hand. "Thomas," he replied, shaking her hand gently. "It's a pleasure to meet you." As the morning progressed, Evelyn continued to serve her customers, her movements graceful and efficient. She refilled coffee cups, wrapped loaves of bread, and chatted with regulars, all while keeping a watchful eye on the oven. The bakery was her domain, a place where she felt completely at ease, completely in her element. The warmth of the oven, the sweet scent of cinnamon, the gentle murmur of conversations, it all blended together to create a sense of profound peace and contentment. Evelyn took a deep breath, savoring the moment, feeling a deep sense of gratitude for the simple beauty of her life, for the warmth of human connection, and for the joy of sharing her creations with others. The sparrow chirped outside the window, a cheerful counterpoint to the gentle hum within, and Evelyn smiled, knowing that this was exactly where she was meant to be. Chapter 3. Afternoon Light and Quiet Reflections. The afternoon sun, a mellow golden hue, cast long shadows across the village square. The morning rush had subsided, leaving the bakery in a state of quiet tranquility. Evelyn had tidied up, the counters now gleaming, the shelves neatly arranged with the remaining pastries. The scent of cinnamon, though fainter, still lingered in the air, a comforting reminder of the busy morning. She brewed herself a cup of cinnamon-infused tea, the steam swirling upwards, carrying the warm, spicy aroma to her nose. She carried the cup to her favorite spot by the window, a small cushioned armchair nestled beside the old oak tree. The sunlight filtering through the leaves created dappled patterns on the floor, a mesmerizing dance of light and shadow. Evelyn settled into the chair, the soft cushions yielding to her weight. She took a sip of the tea, feeling the warmth spread through her chest, a soothing balm to her tired muscles. She closed her eyes for a moment, savoring the quiet, the stillness, the gentle hum of the afternoon. Opening her eyes, she gazed out at the oak tree. Its leaves, a vibrant green in the spring, were now beginning to show hints of gold and russet, a subtle sign of the changing seasons. She had watched that tree through countless seasons, its transformations mirroring the rhythms of her own life. It stood as a silent witness to the joys and sorrows, the triumphs and challenges that had unfolded within the walls of the bakery. Her thoughts drifted back to the morning, to the faces of her customers, their stories, their smiles. She thought of Mrs. Gable and her fluffy cloud, of Mr. Henderson and his cheerful greetings, of Thomas and his surprised delight at his first taste of her cinnamon buns. Each interaction, however small, had added a thread to the rich tapestry of her day. Evelyn found herself reflecting on the nature of connection, on the subtle ways in which people touched each other's lives. A kind word, a shared smile, a warm pastry, these seemingly insignificant gestures could have a profound impact, creating ripples of warmth and goodwill that spread throughout the community. She thought about her grandmother, the original owner of Willow Creek Bakery. She remembered her grandmother's hands, gnarled and wrinkled with age, yet still capable of creating the most exquisite pastries. She remembered her grandmother's wisdom, her gentle spirit, her unwavering belief in the power of simple kindness. Evelyn had inherited more than just a bakery. She had inherited a legacy of love, of community, of finding joy in the everyday. It was a legacy she was determined to uphold, to nurture, to pass on to future generations. The sparrow, her faithful morning companion, chirped from its perch on the windowsill, drawing Evelyn's attention back to the present moment. She smiled, feeling a surge of affection for the tiny creature. It was a reminder that even in the smallest of things, there was beauty to be found, wonder to be experienced. She took another sip of her tea, the warmth spreading through her, chasing away any lingering fatigue. The afternoon light, soft and golden, bathed the bakery in a warm, inviting glow. It was a scene of perfect tranquility, a moment of quiet reflection, a pause in the gentle rhythm of her day. Evelyn felt a deep sense of peace settle over her, a feeling of contentment that came not from grand achievements or extraordinary events, but from the simple appreciation of the present moment. It was a feeling she had cultivated over the years, a conscious choice to find joy in the ordinary, to embrace the beauty of everyday life. As the shadows lengthened and the afternoon drew to a close, Evelyn knew that she would soon be preparing for the evening. But for now, she would simply sit and savor the quiet, the warmth, the gentle presence of the oak tree, and the lingering scent of cinnamon. It was enough. It was more than enough. It was a perfect moment of peace, a quiet interlude in the gentle rhythm of her life. Chapter 4. The Comfort of Evening Rituals. The last rays of the setting sun painted the sky in hues of orange, pink, and purple, a breathtaking display of natural beauty that Evelyn witnessed from the bakery window. The village square was bathed in a warm golden light, creating a sense of serene tranquility. It was time to close up shop, to bring the day's activities to a gentle conclusion. Evelyn moved with a familiar, practiced rhythm, her actions almost meditative, She carefully wrapped the remaining pastries, placing them in the display case for any latecomers who might happen to pass by. She wiped down the counters, their surfaces now gleaming, reflecting the soft light of the setting sun. She swept the floor, the gentle swish of the broom a soothing sound in the quiet bakery. The scent of cinnamon, though fainter now, still lingered in the air, a comforting presence that spoke of warmth, of home, of a day well spent. Evelyn inhaled deeply, savoring the familiar aroma, feeling a sense of quiet satisfaction. She emptied the cash register, counting the day's earnings with a practiced hand. It wasn't about the money. It was about the sustenance, the ability to continue doing what she loved, to continue serving her community. It was about the simple exchange of goods and goodwill, the connection between her and the people who enjoyed her pastries. She turned off the oven, the soft hum ceasing, leaving a deeper silence in its wake. She switched off the lights, leaving only a single lamp burning by the window, casting a warm, inviting glow onto the square outside. Evelyn paused by the door, her hand resting on the old brass knob. She looked back at the bakery, her gaze sweeping over the familiar scene. The worn wooden counters, the gleaming shelves, the old brick oven. It was more than just a workplace. It was a sanctuary, a place of comfort and creativity, a place where she felt truly at home. She stepped outside, locking the door behind her. The cool evening air greeted her, a refreshing contrast to the warmth of the bakery. She took a deep breath, filling her lungs with the fresh, crisp air, scented with the faint aroma of wood smoke from nearby chimneys. As she walked towards her cottage, just a short distance from the bakery, she noticed the first stars beginning to appear in the darkening sky. They twinkled like tiny diamonds, scattered across the vast expanse of the heavens. Evelyn paused, her gaze drawn upwards, feeling a sense of awe and wonder at the beauty of the universe. She reached her cottage, the windows glowing with a warm, inviting light. She unlocked the door, stepping inside to the familiar comfort of her home. The scent of cinnamon subtly clinging to her clothes followed her, a comforting reminder of her day's work. Evelyn prepared a simple supper, her movements slow and deliberate. She set the table, a small round table by the window, overlooking the quiet village square. She lit a single candle, its flame flickering gently, casting dancing shadows on the walls. She ate slowly, savoring each bite, appreciating the simple nourishment of the food. The quiet hum of the evening settled around her, a peaceful backdrop to her solitary meal. The sounds of the village were muted, distant, creating a sense of serene isolation. After supper, she washed the dishes, the warm water soothing her hands. She dried them carefully, placing them back in their familiar spot on the shelf. She then settled into her favorite armchair, a worn, comfortable chair by the fireplace, and reached for her diary. She opened the diary, its pages filled with her neat, cursive handwriting. She wrote about her day, recording the small events, the quiet moments, the interactions with her customers. She wrote about the sparrow, about the oak tree, about the warmth of cinnamon. The scratching of her pen on paper was a very welcomed and calming activity. She wrote not just about what had happened, but about how she felt, about the emotions that had flowed through her, about the subtle shifts in her inner landscape. It was a way of processing her day, of making sense of her experiences, of finding meaning in the ordinary. As she finished writing, she closed the diary, feeling a sense of completion, a sense of peace. The day had been a good one, a simple day, filled with the quiet joys of baking, of community, of connection to nature. She felt a deep sense of gratitude for her life, for the blessings that surrounded her, for the warmth of cinnamon and the comfort of her evening rituals. The candle flickered, casting its gentle glow, and Evelyn felt ready for a night of peaceful rest, her dreams filled with the sweet scent of cinnamon and the quiet beauty of another day to come. Chapter 5. Cinnamon Dreams and Starlit Skies. The cottage was quiet, save for the gentle ticking of the old grandfather clock in the corner. Evelyn had extinguished the candle, leaving only the soft glow of the moonlight filtering through the curtains. She had changed into her night clothes, a soft cotton gown that felt cool and comfortable against her skin. She felt a pleasant tiredness, the kind that comes from a day well spent, a body gently weary, a mind at peace. She climbed into bed, the sheets cool and crisp against her skin. She pulled the covers up to her chin, feeling the soft, comforting weight of the blankets. She closed her eyes, letting go of the day, releasing any lingering tension or worry. The scent of cinnamon, still subtly clinging to her hair and clothes, surrounded her, a comforting embrace. She inhaled deeply, savoring the familiar aroma, letting it soothe her senses, calm her mind. She thought about the day, replaying the small moments of joy and connection. She pictured the smiles of her customers, the warmth of the oven, the beauty of the oak tree, the cheerful chirp of the sparrow. She felt a deep sense of gratitude for the simple blessings of her life. Her body began to relax, her muscles softening, her limbs feeling heavy and at ease. She imagined herself sinking into the mattress, feeling fully supported, completely safe. The warmth of the blanket spread through her, chasing away any lingering chill. Her breathing became slow and rhythmic, her inhales and exhales gentle and even. She focused on the rise and fall of her chest, the gentle movement of her breath. She imagined the warm scent of cinnamon filling her lungs with each inhale, and with each exhale she released any remaining tension, any lingering worries. She visualized the starlit sky she had seen earlier that evening, the vast expanse of the universe, the twinkling stars like tiny diamonds scattered across the darkness. She felt a sense of awe and wonder, a sense of being connected to something larger than herself. Her mind began to quiet, her thoughts slowing down, becoming less distinct. She let go of any need to control her thoughts, allowing them to drift by like clouds in a peaceful sky. She focused on the sensations in her body, the feeling of warmth, of weight, of gentle relaxation. She imagined herself standing in her bakery, surrounded by the comforting aroma of cinnamon. She saw the golden sunlight streaming through the window, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. She heard the soft hum of the oven, the gentle clinking of teacups, the quiet murmur of conversations. She felt a sense of peace, a sense of contentment, a sense of belonging. She was exactly where she was meant to be, doing exactly what she was meant to do. She was surrounded by beauty, by warmth, by the simple joys of everyday life. Her breathing became even slower, her body even more relaxed. She felt herself drifting, floating on the edge of sleep. The scent of cinnamon, now faint and subtle, still lingered in the air, a comforting presence guiding her toward slumber. She imagined the sparrow perched on the windowsill, its tiny head tucked under its wing, fast asleep. She imagined the oak tree, its branches swaying gently in the night breeze, its leaves rustling softly. She imagined the village, bathed in the soft glow of moonlight, quiet and peaceful, everyone resting, dreaming. She felt herself slipping away, her consciousness fading, her body sinking deeper into relaxation. The warmth of cinnamon, the starlit sky, the gentle rhythm of her breath all blended together, creating a sense of profound peace, a sense of complete surrender. And then she slept. Her dreams, filled with the sweet scent of cinnamon, the warmth of shared moments, and the quiet beauty of the starlit sky, carried her through the night, promising a new day, filled with the same simple joys, the same gentle rhythms, the same comforting warmth. She was at peace, her body and mind resting, rejuvenating, preparing for another day in the gentle embrace of Willow Creek and the warmth of cinnamon.